I'm not my husband's best friend. They don't believe me. My husband Robbie and I got married earlier this year. It was such a beautiful day, full of love and joy from both of our families. 2 months after our wedding, we celebrated my birthday with a simple dinner at my in-laws' house. Just me, Robbie, his mom, dad, and sister. That night, I noticed something odd. They kept referring to me as Robbie's best friend. It started when Robbie's sister took a call from a friend and said she was at her brother's best friend's birthday. I was taken aback. I've never heard anyone call me that. I've been his wife for months, and we were engaged for over 2 years. Naturally, I asked her about it after she hung up. She casually said, "Well, you are best friends. That's what mom and dad call you too." Now, we're not super close or anything, but we're civil and friendly. It felt weird. I let it go until it happened again just days ago. I work in the same industry as my mother-in-law, though at a different company. We had a shared client, so I stopped by her office to help with the transition. While introducing me to a coworker, she said, "This is my son's best friend." I awkwardly corrected her, "I'm his wife," but she just smiled and didn't say anything else. Alone, I asked her why she introduced me that way. Same exact answer. "Well, you are best friends." The only explanation I could come up with was maybe it stemmed from something in my wedding vows, where I promised to always be Robbie's best friend. But that doesn't seem like a reason for everyone in his family to adopt it like a title. Robbie was just as confused, so he decided to get to the bottom of it. But then everything blew up last night. Robbie was invited to his parents for dinner. I stayed behind because of a huge work project. I told him to go ahead, and apparently, this is when he decided to bring up the best friend stuff with his dad over drinks. According to Robbie, it took a bit of coaxing, but eventually, his dad Phil spilled the truth. Turns out, my mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and father-in-law had made a cash bet, about how long Robbie and I would last. Phil had the most faith in us, betting we'd stay together. My mother-in-law bet less than a year, and my sister-in-law bet under 6 months. That ridiculous best friend thing, it was all a tactic to chip away at me, a psychological game to stir doubt in my mind, hoping it'd wear me down and maybe even cause a rift between Robbie and me. They thought if they kept doing it like it was no big deal, I'd eventually crack and resent Robbie for not defending me. Robbie lost it. He stormed back into the house and confronted his mom. A screaming match broke out between him, his mom, and Phil. He ended up walking out and calling me from a gas station nearby because he couldn't drive. This morning, I drove him back to get his car. It was tense. His mom was furious with Phil for betraying the secret. Now Phil is staying with us for a few days while things cool down. Robbie wants to go no contact with his mom and sister. He's upset with his dad too, but is more open to reconciliation. I told him I think family therapy could help before we make anything final, and he agreed. We're still figuring things out, but I really hope both our marriage and his parents' marriage can survive this ridiculous drama.